welcome to our fourth community checkpoint. I am John Spinarius, and we're getting ready here for an exciting day of topics, I think. And for those of you, for those of you first tuning in to the community checkpoint, what we do here is we look at the hot topics in the community and we bring them over to our stream here. And throughout the stream, by the way, guys, make sure that you bring questions or other topics you'd like to see in the future. We're always listening. That being said, let's kick off this one. I've got some new faces here that you're going to see here, of course, compared to our previous streams. I'm excited to work with them. I'll let them introduce themselves.
Hello there, Mathieu Lacombe, Associate Game Director. I oversee gameplay topics, balancing, events, all of those things.
And hello everyone, I'm Thomas Texier. I'm the technical lead for the anti-cheat team on Rainbow Six Siege. Super happy to be here with you.
And I'm Mathieu Sola, anti-cheat director on Siege.
All right, and thank you guys for all the intros. And of course, we have behind the scenes Ken, who is playing from our dev team some Siege. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice for some reason. But Ken is playing behind the scenes and getting going with some Siege. We'll check in on him every once in a while, as now we'll talk about the subjects we'll go through today, guys. We're going to go over core rules, which we released a blog post on just a little while ago. Legend Division, anti-cheat, and player protection that's going to be coming through there. In general, balancing, console anti-cheat and toxicity in general. All that being said, let's update everyone on the core rules here, Mathieu, and what we just unveiled last week. What was the purpose of that blog post that you put out?
Yeah, so thank you very much. What we wanted to do was to explain to everyone what was acceptable and what was not acceptable, and that we would sanction, basically. So you can have, you can look at the blog post, as you said, everything's there. And like sanctions can be applied on a per one basis or on a batch, basically. But everything's in the blog.
Okay, cool. Obviously everything is there in the blog, but there's probably some key points that you'd like to elaborate on, I imagine?
Yes, so let's talk about cheating, smurfing, and boosting first. So cheating is whenever you're using either software or hardware to have an unfair advantage in a match. Using an exploit, so a bug in the game, for example, it's the same, and spoofing we consider is cheating as well. Then you have smurfing. Smurfing, it's whenever you are using a lower MMR account to dominate lower level lobbies, basically. So you are a champ and you're playing in copper. I don't know. Don't do that.
Yeah.
And then we have boosting. There are a lot of different types of boosting. Like there's a low trapping. You could be sharing accounts with a friend. You could have a paid service that will boost your account. All of that is forbidden.
Okay, and then are there any others that you'd like to highlight here?
Yeah. So let's talk about negative communication. So that's any type of slurs, threats, bullying, any type of toxicity that doesn't have its place in Siege, really. Then we have botting. Botting is whenever you're using any type of automation, scripts to basically level up an account up to level 50 to play ranked. If we find out that you are playing on an account that has been leveled up like that, we will sanction you. And then we have account abuse. So that's sharing account, buying accounts, stealing account. All of that is forbidden, obviously. And lastly, circumvention. Any type of action that you're taking to prevent a sanction,
right,
or to, for example, you've been banned on an account, you're using another one, or you're also trying not to be detected by your systems, will sanction you just for that.
Okay, good to know. And guys, again, the full blog post is online right now. You can go to that. Our moderator is going to post in the chat for you in case you want to check it out. And you can read up all the details, what we just covered, and of course, a lot more that it goes over in that document. Also, if you guys have questions on that or pretty much any player protection or balancing topics, please put them in the chat. We'll collect them and ask them in some of our segments, which we're going to have one now. We're checking on the gameplay for Ken, so we'll answer some questions if they came in. Otherwise, we're going to check out Ken, who's new to the dev team, in fact, but quite skilled at Siege. I've been told anyway. I don't know if that's the case, guys.
It's pretty good.
Okay. I'm just going to check on the questions here, guys. We can check on the gameplay. Let's see what we got. All right, I'm not seeing anything from our moderators just yet, but guys, make sure that you keep submitting your questions in the chat, and we will get to them as soon as we can. But how's Ken doing? This team deathmatch, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ash versus
Max.
no.
He's shaking his head no. He lost.
Oh.
He didn't win. All right, Ken, try again next time, right?
All right.
All right, let's go back into our discussion here. We'll talk about anti-cheat, specifically related to Legend Division here. Before we do, I want to know how you feel about the current status of cheating right now in Rainbow Six.
Yeah, so we look back the past 2 years, and actually the current season has the lowest number of reports for the past 2 years. So it's a very good season, and this is true across the board, except at Diamond and Champion ranks. So we need to improve our detection, our prevention systems at those ranks. It's definitely not up to the level we want it to be.
Right.
But everywhere else, it's really good.
And can players out there help in this fight against cheaters?
Absolutely, yes. So we're using reports for all our systems. So if players are reporting and specifically using the correct category, this helps us for all the systems that we have on the game.
Yeah, good. So reminder, guys, report and correct category. That's important. So keep that in mind. All right, let's touch on that Legend Division now and the specific measures that are going to be put in place for it. Could you detail everything associated with R6 Shield Guard secure platform, which we mentioned back in January on our first player protection checkpoint, but maybe we can go into more details now.
Yes, so the Legend Division playlist, we want this playlist to be the showcase of the best players in the world. We want them to be able to play in the safest environment possible.
Yeah.
So this is why we're introducing the R6 Shield Guard secure platform, which is to date the most significant upgrade that Siege has received in terms of anti-cheat since its launch back in 2015 now.
Right.
So a little bit of background first. I need to explain that cheat programs nowadays are behaving increasingly just like malware. That means they tend to inject deeper and deeper into your operating system. Even sometimes they inject before your operating system even launches. So we need to level the playing field in order to tackle this problem. Go ahead.
I was just wondering what you consider the three key pillars, or the key pillars, I should
Yes,
say,
exactly.
of the new
So
platform.
our secure platform is actually architectured around three main technologies. These technologies have been present in modern Windows PCs for a while, especially in the enterprise environment. But we want to leverage those technologies for you guys on your machine to get better matches. So the first pillar I want to talk about will be Secure Boot. Secure Boot's main goal is to ensure that every steps from the moment you press the power button on your machine to the moment you reach your desktop, that every step in that process is legitimate and doesn't contain any malicious program or drivers that could have been injected during that process. Okay. So this will make cheats harder to inject before the game even launches. Second, we rely on another technology, and bear with me on that one. It's called VBS, which stands for Virtualization-Based Security. It's also known as Core Isolation, and it's also known as HVCI. The main goal of those technologies is to protect Windows itself, its most sensitive components, its most sensitive drivers and processes. They will be run in an isolated virtual environment, away from the rest of the programs running on your machine, away from the game, away from the cheat programs, making Windows more secure than ever. And finally, the last piece of the puzzle will be TPM 2.0 specifically, which stands for Trusted Platform Module. This technology is actually a hardware device that is embedded directly into your processor most of the time, and its goal is to cryptographically ensure and validate that both Secure Boot and VBS are actually enabled and running on your machine, and you're not lying and pretending that this technology are running. Especially that's what cheats tend to do.
For sure. So, I mean, so now with all that information being said, it's a lot, guys. You know, we're going to have a summary after the stream, by the way, guys, will be posted. So you'll be able to read this yourselves, of course. But what do players need to do to enable this?
So fortunately, we've been monitoring the player base for a while, and we know that most of you will already be equipped and meet the requirements necessary for a secure platform.
Okay.
However, some players might have to either enable core isolation in their Windows security settings, or maybe in their firmware settings, they might have to go and enable TPM or Secure Boot as needed based on their platform.
Okay, and we'll be providing guidance on this.
Yes, obviously, we know it can be a little of a kind of a daunting topic, so we'll be here to help.
Okay. And that's specifically, I want to mention again, guys, for Legend Division, that's going to be starting with. And then, well, for gameplay, that's great, right? But what about account-related security measures? Is there anything being done there?
Yeah, so cheating is not an isolated problem. Account security is extremely important.
Yes.
And, email-based verification is good, but it's not always enough. Your account can be stolen, you can have phishing emails and stuff like that. So what we will implement is two-step verification by Authenticator app. So what that means is that you'll have an app on your phone, you'll be able to use it, it will send you number that we'll
Yep.
put in the game so that we can recognize it's you. The first time you're using the app, we'll need your phone number to authenticate you, and then you're good to go. It's we'll be able to know it's you.
And in terms of the app, is there a specific app that will require players use, or will it be a choice of certain verification?
Yeah, we'll have multiple options. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that's all great for Legend Division, of course, but it seems like all divisions, could benefit from this, from the 2SV app and from our 6 ShieldGuard secure platform. What's the planned rollout in that regard?
Yeah, so we will roll out 2SV by app to other playlists. So we're planning to go to rank in December.
Yes.
We'll send more communication about this. And because we really want players to do it, we'll give an alpha pack to those who do. And if you have already done it, you will receive your alpha pack at the beginning of Season 3. For everything around secure platform, although we do want to implement it to other playlists, we want to make sure everything works correctly, so we'll go with Legend Division first.
Okay, cool. Good to know. All right. I think that pretty much covers everything we wanted to go through on that subject. So let's move on now, and we'll talk about balancing, because Mathieu's here next to me, and I promise he has a lot to say. He's not here just look pretty. He's going to help us dive into a lot of balancing topics, and specifically, right, the cadence of balancing. Like, how has that, it's increased considerably in the last year. Could you describe what your current approach is to the balancing process?
Yes, since year 10 is 4.2, so you might remember it as the Big Torn patch, we've started to release a lot more changes, and more often, and bigger changes. It's something that the community was looking for, and it's a great way for us to make sure that the game stays fresh, and we provide new ways to play. So that's how we are going since then. We're also looking at the operator that got nerfed in the past,
Right.
and making sure that they are still relevant to the meta that we are now. It doesn't mean that it's not fair for an operator to be in a weak state because they were good 5 years ago because of the 20-second meta or other reasons, right? So we're looking at, this is a result that gave you the Wamai and Jaeger changes that we had in 0.2 recently, and all of the changes that we have to Zofia right now, right?
Right. So are you happy with the way this is going right now, or do you want to change this further in terms of your approach to balancing? Obviously, it's a little new still, but are there further changes coming?
Yes. From what I hear and from what I see from the community, there's a lot of love toward the balancing changes lately.
Right.
Especially when we talk about the 0.0, so the season launch, and the 0.2, the mid-season patch. There's a lot of love over there. But in the 0.1 and 0.3, so the middle patches that we have in between, this is where we have a little bit more work to do.
Okay.
We wanted to have a lot of changes, bring a lot of, like your favorite operators in the mix, making sure that if you like Sense, you like Valkyrie, you see them a little bit more in the patch notes than previously. But it means that we were doing only small changes to not, unbalance the game. So we're going to look at that and make sure that we serve the community a little bit more better with those kind of changes.
Okay. And how would you describe the current meta of the game and how it's impacting balancing?
At this time, I think we can call it, and the community calls it the power operators.
Yes, that's right.
Power operator meta. We have a lot of operators that have strong utility, strong gadgets, strong weapons, and they are picked a lot, and they are in every matches. I think this is where we stand with the game at this time. On the balancing side of things, we all obviously want to make sure that we have some variety. We have a lot of, proposed ways to play the game.
Right.
So we're going to make sure that we can provide other operators to be on that standard. If we buff every operator to that standard, I think we're going to make Siege a little bit too arcadey or too spammy to my taste. We want to make sure that this game stays tactical, strategy. So we're going to take the time to nerf those operators to bring them more in line, but we're going to try to aim toward the middle instead of taking them all the way down.
Right.
To make sure that we're in a comfortable spot and a fun spot.
Yeah, and still maintaining their identity, right? Like you said, fun spot, making sure players still enjoy playing their favorite operators. Not going to take that away from them, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
That's the whole point here.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. Well, speaking of power operators, we've got Dokkaebi, right? Who was released or remastered recently, I should say. What are we doing in Season 3 for her?
We've had the changes in 0.0, 0.1, 0.2 for Dokkaebi. So there has been a lot of work done already.
Yes.
We're going to do a lot more in Season 3.0. So next upcoming season, we're going to have two direction of changes. The first one is her core entity as an operator. At this time, she brings Impact EMP. it's always useful to have those.
Yeah.
If you're doing all your stuff with your primary gadget, you also have the ability to impact the main breach or bulletproof cameras like Maestro and stuff like that. Taking them down and replacing them with breach charge will allow her to have a more precise identity. You're going to focus on dislodging operators from key position and, you know, like hunting them down.
Okay, and you mentioned another change that's coming as well, obviously. So let's go into that.
Yeah, the second type of changes is really much focused on one-for-one operators. We know our players want to have a counter directly to an operator. Like when you get trapped by someone, you want to have the answer.
Something you can switch to and like get an answer. Yeah, exactly.
So we're gonna make the JGO payload upload fully committed for the whole duration. So when you start the upload, it's going to be continuous for the whole time. It means that as a mute player, you will be able to place one, run toward the mute jammer, and flush down the call whenever it's active. Let me rephrase and be more clear here.
Sure, go ahead.
So, it's going to be active for the whole duration. It means that you need to have a one-for-one connection from Dokkaebi to the other player. If someone was to walk into a mute jammer, it means that the whole connection is stopped. There's no JGO payload upload, no explosion, you're safe. It also means that Tubarao is also going to be able to disrupt this link. So the idea here is to have more ways to have an operator to counter another one.
Yeah.
So if you're getting clapped by Dokkaebi, you have 2 new operators. And there's also the need for Dokkaebi to stay alive. So if I'm calling you and you want to take the fight, you're going to get rewarded if you successfully take out the Dokkaebi.
And you can see already some examples of how it's going to work, guys, in Season 3 on your screen as we're playing it there for Tubarao and Mute. However, you know, that's great for, you know, defense to be able to counter Dokkaebi, but what about the other side of things, the other side of the coin, where in terms of working together with her, are there going to be some changes there, or at least some opportunities for players to work more with Dokkaebi?
There's more implication to having the upload being continuous instead of just sent once.
Exactly.
It means that Dokkaebi's tablet is going to be active the whole duration. If you want to counter Dokkaebi, you can bring Solace now. It means that the tablet is going to be visible for the whole upload. So you kind of turn the table on Dokkaebi. If you're not the one getting called, well, you can help out your teammates by hunting down Dokkaebi as she is hunting someone else.
Yes.
And if you want to buddy up with Dokkaebi, and you know, like your duo is bringing Dokkaebi, you want to support them, you can bring IQ, because it means that the upload is active for the full duration. The target's phone is visible on IQ's tablet for the whole duration.
That's going to be great. It'll have an opportunity, at least for someone to work with Dokkaebi, with all those changes coming in terms of her counters. So that's going to be cool. So those changes, like I said, going to have an impact on how Dokkaebi plays. We'll see how that rolls out, folks, and we'll adjust if we need to. But that said, do you have any other balancing updates on the horizon?
Yes, 3.0 is a major beat. Like we discussed, there's a lot more changes and impactful changes there. Kali is going to be receiving a lot of love. I don't want to spoil all the things. We have a nice reveal coming up where I'll go into details. But the next portions, I think, are really important and something that is dear to our community. We have 3 weapons that are going to get notched down here. The first one is the SMG-12.
We hinted at that last time as well on our previous checkpoint, but go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. The SMG-12 has been performing very strongly at this time. We didn't take the time to adjust it back because Dokkaebi was not having any primary automatic weapon. And since we added the XK since then, I think it's a good time to bring down the SMG-12 for everyone, making sure that it has its proper identity. It's not the best weapon in the game, and it's just like it's a secondary. So we're going to reduce the damage and the ammo capacity. We're going to leave the RPM that is crazy good as it is, but it means that the identity of the weapon is you need to land those headshots. If you're not, it's going to be a pea shooter. So if you're good with the SMG-12, good. You're going to still be able to land those headshots, but if you're missing, well, it's going to be a lot harder to be good with the SMG-12.
I mean, yeah, for sure. It sounds like it, but I'm sure those skill-based players out there who want this will be very happy. I hope. Anyway, we'll see. But there's more weapons you mentioned.
Yes.
Yes.
The other weapons that are, on everyone's mind is the DMRs on defense, especially. On attack, when we look at the data, if we talk about the AR-15 and the MK-14, they're performing well. Like, they're not outside of the boundaries that we would like. But on defense, it's another whole story.
Yeah.
They're everywhere, they're in every round. It means that Aruni and Tubarao are bringing those weapons, mostly for the weapons and not for the gadget. So we're going to look at 3 vectors for those. We're going to increase the recoil. We're going to reduce the damage to underneath 60. So it means that you need 3 shots on most target to down them. And the last one is on defense only. We're removing the muzzle brake. The muzzle brake cuts down in half the recoil that you have from one shot. So it means that it's going to be a lot harder for those to perform with this weapon. If you're really good with the recoil and handling those situations, you're going to be cool.
You'll be
It'll be
fine.
nice.
Yeah.
But for everyone, we're going to need to step up and make sure that you handle your weapon properly.
Certainly adds a challenge to that. We'll see how it goes as those changes are rolled out in Season 3. And what about the new operator that's going to be coming out? We already know there's a new operator announced in Season 3. However, do you have any details, any teasers? Something?
I mean, it's really hard to go after the Siege Tale teaser that we had at
It
DSI,
was
right?
really good, yeah.
What I can say is we saw a shield having hard time against something. Well, the operator is going to bring a full loadout that is really good against shield. And the gadget has more use than just against shield. So you're not only focusing on shields, so you'll have a secondary utility with them.
Yep.
But we have, once again, a super really
Yes.
teaser that is going to come up soon. So
Yeah, a super reveal, guys. That's going to be happening at EWC on August 15th. You're going to want to check it out. All the details on Season 3 will be released. Balancing updates will come out as well. The full list of them, because we just teased them here. It wasn't everything that's going to be happening, of course. And, of course, the reveal of the new operator. So, again, August 15th, EWC. Make sure you're there for the Season 3 reveal. Now, let's check in on Ken's gameplay and see how he's doing. I think he's in ranked now, if I'm not mistaken. Is he? We'll have to find out. But we'll see how he's doing. I heard a little bit of it on his side, so I'm not sure if he's playing that well right now, but we'll see. I'm going to check out the questions that you guys submitted, because I see some that are being sent to me here. Oh, these are actually interesting. So we'll ask a couple here. Again, guys, at the end of the stream, I'm going to get to all your questions that are submitted to me, of course, so please wait for that. But for now, I see a bouncing question. It's a good opportunity to ask it. Do you think we could see some more nerfs to attackers like Solid Snake and Deimos? Can you say anything? If you can't say anything, you don't have to, but we're curious.
I mean, they're part of the power operators for sure,
Okay.
right? In the Season 3, we're going to see one of those two, for sure.
Oh, okay. There you go. You're going to have to wait to find out, but that's really cool. And then another question here. Oh, this one's player protection based, actually. I think it's relevant. What happened with reporting options in match replays? Can you answer that?
I don't have the full details, but it was removed because it was very seldom used. So players were not using it. So we thought, okay, let's just focus on something that players are actually using more.
Okay, so it's more to focus on the other elements rather
Yes.
that can have more benefit. Okay, cool. And Ken, how you doing? Can you hear us?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay. He's doing well. He's doing well. That's good. All right, let's go back into the swing of things. We'll actually switch back to player protection, of course, on this front after the bouncing. But again, guys, if you want to hear more from Mathieu, get those balancing questions into the chat, because then he can talk more. So you'll unleash him. But let's talk about console anti-cheat now, and what's happening on that front. Could you give us an update, Mathieu?
Yeah, sure. Console cheating is real. There are a lot of different threats at the moment, but like the two that I'm going to talk about, that we're going to talk about right now, are mouse and keyboard using spoofing devices and recall macros. So for the mouse and keyboard one, we have Mousetrap that has been live for I don't know how long, maybe a couple of years now. It's doing good work. It has good results, but we see that we also want to improve it.
Yep.
It's not up to the level we want it to be, so we are actively improving it now, and we'll keep improving it throughout year 12 as well.
Yes, and on the topic of recall scripts and macros, so I'm happy to announce that we've been working for a while now already on a new machine learning model, targeting this problem directly. So we want to be extremely conservative with this new model. So we've been benchmarking basically against the most skilled players that we could find, especially pro players that were super helpful with us on that topic, to make sure that these players will never be impacted. We want to make sure that our detection thresholds are really far from the top players. And we want to be super conservative and only issue sanctions whenever we feel like we have high confidence, and especially multiple detections.
Right.
So we are actually doing the finishing touches, and we're expecting to release this new model first on PC by the end of the month. And we already are at work on the console version, and we hope to release this as soon as possible.
That's fantastic news. I think everyone's going to be happy
Oh, yeah.
to hear about that, especially on console. So, are there any other innovations you're making in the console space for cheat detection?
Yeah, we're also building something that goes beyond any type of real-time detection, and we're building the ability to be able to look back at past matches and sanction players that we identify haven't followed the rules. Okay.
And also on the horizon, some of you might have seen those devices pop up. Some AI-powered or AI-enabled cheating devices have started making the rounds on console. So obviously we keep a close eye on those, and we want to make sure that all our approaches and techniques are taking those into account. And we also already started sanctioning some of those players, so we're already making good progress.
Okay. And as with the recoil macro detection, I imagine it's going to be coming to PC soon as well?
Yes,
eventually?
This overall problem kind of spans both platforms, so we kind of want to make sure we tackle all of them at once and we can catch everyone at once if possible.
Perfect. All right. So let's use that as a springboard towards a general discussion here on anti-cheat and anti-toxicity, of course. Starting with anti-cheat, are there any new measures you're looking at?
So yes, I have actually another announcement to make.
Nice.
And so we've also been working for a little while, actually for close to a year now, with a new dedicated and internal team dedicated at Ubisoft of dedicated experts in game security and anti-cheat. And the goal is to create Ubisoft Anti-Cheat, the home in-house dedicated solution for all Ubisoft games. And obviously, Rainbow Six is the first client that will benefit from that. And we cannot be happier because we have a very close communication line and collaboration line with this team. And they are extremely talented, and we're super happy to work with them.
Yeah, we've had great results with them. It has been operating at a user level for a year now with great results. And a great part of the reason why we have a good cheating situation now is thanks to that team. And it's operating at user level, but we want to bring it to kernel level starting season 3. Kernel level is not new to Siege. We have already that, and it's also not new to the industry. But we want to make sure that we have the ability to get all the cheaters, and that's why we're moving that there.
And I just wanted to add, the main focus for us with that product is the collaboration and the fact that we can work hand in hand on basically a daily basis with that team to make sure we help Siege as much as we can.
We can target specifically what the cheats we want to remove.
Exactly.
And what players will see in the game is that starting season 3, they will see a little pop-up basically for a couple of seconds that says launching Ubisoft anti-cheat services, and that's it. You'll be protected.
Perfect. All right. Sounds good. Sounds just like more layers of security, which is never a bad thing in this case, for sure. Then there's been speculation as well on manual bans, right? And how those are being handed out. Could you provide more insight into that?
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to we've seen some chatter online of people talking about it, in all communities. I want to say no one has manual ban power. We look at a lot of different types of data, a lot of different types of proof. Sometimes we do look at the video, but it's never the only thing that we're using. We have a lot of services and tools that give us more information. So we take the decision to ban.
And the other topic we want to touch on was toxicity, of course. You know, this is something that impacts players in oftentimes as much or more than cheating. So what is being done here?
Yes, toxicity is super important in order to keep the game safe and healthy, you know. So there are 3 things. So the first one is voice chat. We have already taken a lot of feedback from the community to make some changes, and we keep improving upon it up until December. So we have more to come on the voice chat side of things. Then starting season 4, we'll implement an in-game code of conduct that players will have to sign. And finally, we will start sharing more information on the players that you have reported. So we won't necessarily say this happened to this player, but we'll aggregate that and say, well, you've reported those players and 3 of those were banned for cheating, for example.
Okay, it's just more feedback to...
Exactly, we'll tell you what happened.
Perfect. All right, all that being said, can you give us a sneak peek maybe on what to expect in year 12 or...
Yes, so on the toxicity side, year 12, we want to be more around rewarding positivity.
Yeah.
We want to reward the players that are really leaders in the community, and we want to give them the experience to basically keep having fair game with no toxicity. So that will be one of the focus. On the anti-cheat side, we really want to keep building on the foundations that we have, and actually even before year 12, we have more things coming in year 11 that I can't reveal just yet, but we we're always working, always adapting to what they're doing and making sure that we can either detect or prevent it. Right?
We never stop.
That's it.
And I mean, you guys are here today, but is there anyone else you want to shout out to? Or?
Absolutely. I want to give a big shout out to all the player protection teams wherever they are in the world, either in Siege or in Ubisoft. We're working with a lot of different people. This is only possible because we are a lot of very dedicated people who work with us.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much.
very
Yeah, for sure. And all the guys working out, like you said, Mathieu, it's not an easy thing, right, to deal with all this stuff. And you got to always be active, like you said, always there, always adapting, always moving forward. So yeah, that's the end of our main discussion though, folks. And now, as I mentioned, we're going to a live Q&A session. We do have some pre-submitted questions. I'm going to go through those first, and then we'll get back to your live questions, folks. So first off, there was an issue apparently with the recoil of Zofia's M762 on console. Is this something that you're aware of?
Yes, fully aware. It's something that we're trying to resolve as soon as possible. So yes, totally.
Okay. We're on it, guys. Don't worry. Cool. So, and then another one, we kind of covered this already, but I'll ask it again. It feels like we are ignoring key operators and issues the game is facing from a power perspective in the current meta. Is there anything you're doing to address this?
So, like we touched a bit before, we want to make sure that the game stays fun, it remains fresh, and it answers the need of our community. If we go around and just swing a bat and try to make everyone not fun to play,
right?
We know no one's going to like that.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we're going to make sure that we always keep a positive ratio of buffs and nerf, while also for our upcoming patches. So it means that we always bring other operators toward the top, while we bring some real some of them back. But there's going to be a little bit more nerfs moving forward.
Okay. And then another question, also on balancing, but focused more on weapons. I think, yeah, a lot of the changes are a little too small in terms of moving the dial. Is there any chance we can see some wider swings in the future?
I think 3.0, like we just discussed, the DMRs and defense, and the SMG-12 getting reeled back a lot.
Yeah.
This is a start. And as I mentioned, like we're gonna make sure that we have a lot of buffs and some nerfs that are coming in the mix to make sure that we have more variety, more fun options, and make sure that like Siege remains fun to play, and we're just not making everything not fun to play by nerfing them.
Fair enough. All right, guys. Now we're going to your questions. Now, there's a lot coming in. Let's see what we've got here. I'm just trying to go through them. Okay. A Rorschach test says, when is the SMG-12 nerf coming? Which we kind of already said, but go ahead, Mathieu.
Upcoming season 3.0. So first patch of the next season, you're going to have a worst SMG-12.
All right. There you go. Something to look forward to. Maybe. Yeah. Depends on the perspective. But okay. And Amaryl Korn, I don't know if maybe they missed it, but will you be doing something about the DMR meta, which we already said we would?
So for defenders, this is the first step. Like we're going to tackle Aruni and Tabaro's DMR. It will also affect a little bit the version on attack. But during year 12, it's something that we want to make sure that we look into.
Okay, cool. And then, this is a little bit long. Okay, Unnamed Assassin 2267 says, will Mozzie receive his bullets back in the P10 Roni? His ammo count was reduced because of the 1.5 scope, but that's gone now. I think that kind of goes back to what you were saying about, there's this debt that exists, right? So
exactly, like we had to do some nerfs that were in good context back then. We're looking at those and making sure that they serve our player and serve the current meta. I'm not saying no about that one. To be honest, like it's especially when we compare. We're talking about Mozzie here, but if we look at Aruni's loadout, we're bringing down the DMR. Is it time to bring back the other option that she has in her loadout? I think this is the kind of direction that we want to go with the balancing, making sure that there's always something good in your loadout.
These are discussions we're having essentially.
Exactly.
This one doesn't have a name associated with it, but have you considered just removing all ACOGs off defense?
I mean, it comes back often. I think we've had this discussion for 10 years now.
Yeah, I think so, yes.
You think about Siege, you think about the ACOG, especially on defense. There's a role that they play in the sense that you want to hold long angles. We want to keep this option alive. The ratio of how many weapons they have them, how many operators have them, this is where we're trying to land like in the perfect spot. We had an automatic weapon that had them before Siege X, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
And it was season 3, my bad. And we're now in a iteration where it's only on semi-automatic weapons. We're gonna keep trying to find the perfect solution, but the point here is we want to keep this option alive and make sure that there's some players that like you play on your couch, you don't play on 4:3 on your screen. You need to have the ability to see further from your screen. So it's a great tool. We just need to make sure that it serves our player, and I think we're shuffling things around for that.
Fair enough. And now a player protection question for you guys, one of you guys. At narrow1989, will I get banned if I change server in gamesettings.ini because not getting ranked matches in AP South 1 server? I don't even know if you guys can answer that, but...
No, you won't get banned for that.
Okay, you can. Okay, cool. You won't get banned. You're fine. So you can go ahead and do that. At PHL1YTR, I'm trying, guys. Are there any plans to tweak the abandonment penalty changes since there has been an increase in people leaving matches?
I know it's being worked on. I don't have the full overview of that.
That's being worked on.
Yep.
I'm going to ask it. If you can't answer it, don't. Is that okay? All right, let's go. Kudos is asking a question, actually. Will Ubisoft anti-cheat replace BattleEye, or does it work in tandem with BattleEye?
For now, it works in tandem, and we're always looking at any new opportunities.
And we have strengths in both,
Exactly.
and that's a really good partnership. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And No Limit, also here, says, will players who queue with cheaters consistently ever receive permabans?
Yes. We have already done that. I think I mentioned it already in January. If you're consistently queuing with cheaters, especially blatant cheaters, at the moment, it's manual on a case-by-case basis. Nothing is automated, but it will be.
Okay. No. And then XX Dovahair says, are there going to be any changes to the TCSG?
This is for me. One of the things that is important with the new cadence is making sure that we give the player time to adapt, try some new stuff. It's under our radar. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's just we want to make sure that we tackle one weapon at a time, making sure that players can adapt and find other solutions or other new tools. But it's under our radar. Like when we say DMR and defense, it includes slug shotguns.
Yeah, it's one step at a time so that like not everything goes crazy at once.
Exactly. It's not LT if we just always break the piggy bank and making sure that everyone has to relearn everything.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that players can...
Gradual.
Exactly.
And then we can make adjustments, adaptations if we need to, and then move on to the next.
Exactly.
Cool. No Limit has another question. Will there ever be another secondary defense tool introduced like anti-breach gadget, considering attack has secondary EMPs and HB tools? Did you get that whole question?
Yes, I did get it. You
don't have to say. You can just say I can't say anything right now if you want to, Matthew. You don't.
No, but it's an interesting question.
It is.
Because
it is.
at the end of the day, it comes up most likely with a ban system where we have a ability to ban Kaid and Bandit really quickly, which means that you're kind of left with no electricity on the board. We're aware of that.
Okay, perfect. And okay, we got another anti-cheat question from Achieved Archive, who's saying, how do you plan to tackle the DMA situation?
There are plans that we have already actually put in place. So we are already doing some stuff in order to tackle that kind of problem. And we have even more plans in the bag. So we have things that are coming against that type. At the moment, the only one I can frankly talk about is the stats system, the stats model. So whenever a cheater is using DMA and he's going blatant and he's not closeted, we will be able to identify him and ban that cheater. We have more stuff coming.
And on a technical level, we've had a few recent wins over the last couple months that we've been super happy about against DMAs. Obviously, this is not stuff that I could talk right here. But once again, we never stop, and we always try to find new avenues and new ways to invest and ways to tackle that problem for the future.
Cool. Great to know. So guys, again, I'm just looking through the questions, but I want to remind you, if you have any questions specifically on player protection or balancing, please submit them into the chat now, and we'll do our best to answer them on air right now. And of course, we're going to check in on Ken to see how he's doing. And he's droning right now. Okay, this is not necessarily the most interesting, but yeah, maybe we'll get to the gameplay soon. But either way, okay, this is another. I'm not sure if you'll be able to answer this, Matthew, but we can try. At Aussie Otter, are you happy with the current map ban system, and are there any changes coming to it?
It's not something on my plate, like
That's-
on
yeah,
the more on the gameplay side of things.
Yeah.
But I know similar to the game, to the balancing side of things, we always want to improve,
Always been
and
like that.
hearing the feedback. Most likely, it's something on their plate.
Cool. Okay, more coming in for you, Matthew. A lot of bounces, but it's
I
fair.
mean, that's why I'm here.
No, yeah, no. I told him to unlock you and let you speak. No,
Happy to help.
I'm kidding. Golden Legend 2383 says, do you think we can get more reworks for weak operators instead of just buffing the gadget, which isn't good? Okay. Well,
So focusing on gadget is something that we want to, like we always want to make sure that if we can bring up the gadget and make it shine before the weapon, something that we want to do for sure. If we think back of since the new cadence on the major beats, so the 0.0 and 0.2, there's always a focus on operators and their gadget. It was Scopos, it was Gridlock, Thorn. We're always looking at how we can tune those gadgets so they can do their role better, can expand on their ability to impact the game. And yeah, when we're doing that, it's mostly on the gadget side of things before weapons.
cool. All right. At Raw Fredo says, oh, that's an interesting question. I don't know if can you change the resolution aspect ratio on console? Is it going to be possible ever? I don't know if anyone has that answer.
I have no idea.
Okay,
Yeah.
we're not sure.
Sure.
We're not sure. So maybe we'll send it to the rest of the team and see if we can get you an answer there. But for now, I don't know. I can't even speak about it. But I mean, console usually the way it is. You play it on your specific resolutions, and that's it. But anyway, Kudos says, I keep getting this question all the time. Will Tachanka ever get his shotgun back?
We're talking about the sausage 12, right?
I-
I mean, there's a spot on this loadout. Could be. I don't want to say yes, no, but it's not on the short term of things at this time.
Okay. And another question from at SciShock says, any changes on Iana?
I'm gonna start by saying keep pushing feedback like that. I read on Twitter, Reddit, all of those social media. I look at it, and Yana is one that comes a lot.
Yeah.
So it means that on my my to-do list and trying to find who we target next, they go up. So keep pushing for this. Yana is up there. Yeah.
Okay, cool. We're getting more questions coming in here. I'm just checking to see if I missed any because there were a lot. We talked about the SMG-12 already, DMR meta, and all the operators. Okay, here we go. Something we may have already covered here, but Brandon says, are you guys implementing a system for Titan 2 users?
So when Thomas was talking about new cheat on console, that's what we were talking about basically. We started monitoring it, so starting in June basically, and we have already, I think, had a couple of waves of banning those players.
Exactly.
Cool. All right.
Nothing
there
to
we go. We're working on it. Just gonna check to see here. Whoa. I'm seeing a lot of chatter go in the chat, so we're gonna try and see if there's. I'm just looking myself now to see if there's anything going through. Oh, I think I see one. 1 second. At Hunter01289 says, what is your plan for underwhelming defenders such as Doc since his ACOG was removed? We're going to very specific operators, but I hope that's okay.
That's the thing, right?
Yeah.
The weapon here was shining a little bit too much compared to the primary gadget, so
Yeah.
we want to make sure that the primary gadgets are the focus and the reason why you pick an operator.
Yeah.
The rest of the kit is part of the, like the characters you're picking, so they need to be relevant. But we want to make sure that the primary gadgets shine. So I can't go in detail. But
Okay.
there's always like new ways to improve on those kind of defenders that aren't underperforming.
Okay, cool. Got a lot of questions that unfortunately we can't answer here, folks. So let me see. I mean, we just talked about doc, but like new doc SMG, people are saying here in chat, they're asking. So I don't know if that's something. They're asking if it's coming, if anything's coming. I don't know. Nothing. Okay. Don't worry about it.
Who knows?
Who knows exactly?
Yeah, exactly. We can't say anything. This one we already addressed, but I'm going to ask it again to you, Mathieu. Will there be anything new with dealing with Smurfs? So maybe we can go into more detail or anything.
Yes, so basically, one of the issues we have with Smurfs is that they trigger a lot of our cheating detection systems. So we ban Smurfs because they sometimes they have the same type of stats or they look like a cheater.
Okay.
So any type of new, not necessarily new, we're just keep improving that we've already been doing against Smurfs.
Okay. Got some rank 3.0 questions. Can't cover that today, folks.
Like, while you're looking for this, like the question about making the, like the defenders that are weak, stronger.
Yeah.
There's one other thing that we use when we go with balancing. We use the matrix that we publish every patches. Like we can look who's performing, who's underperforming. But there's a lot of focus also on who we see the community wants to play.
Right.
We see Yana. Like obviously she's not in a great space, but at the very but it's still okay to be in that place. But we see that the community wants like more out of Yana. And this is something that we want to bring into, the balancing cadence and how we change the approach that we have. It's just making sure that when player wants something, we need to investigate and make sure that we serve them.
Absolutely. Speaking of players wanting something, No Limit says, will we ever get laser sight alternatives, like maybe two different types of lasers, one that works the old way and another one that works the current way?
There's always room for, more attachments. There has been one laser slot. It's the kind of things that it's very hard to go in specific. I kind of have to say there's a weapon slot for this, and we only have one choice.
Right. Fair enough. Let's see if I can get one more question here before we sign off. I'm not sure. Like it seems I don't know. I don't know what you're asking. I was gonna ask him. I'm not sure it makes sense, unfortunately. We got another question about the Zofia recoil, but guys, we're looking into it. That's actively being looked into on console specifically, and it will be fixed as soon as possible, as Mathieu already said. And check out Ken's gameplay. Maybe I don't know how he's doing. Has he?
Playing some Alibi.
I'm curious how much he's won today. I haven't had a chance to look.
Yeah, he had a couple really good rounds.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he got MVP with Snake a little bit earlier.
Oh, speaking of power operator.
Yeah.
That's good. Playing all the strong operators, Ken, huh? Not.
Some SMG12, I think.
Yeah, he's SMG12 and power operators. Okay, no, but it's fair. Like that's what's
He's
there
playing
right now.
Alibi as well.
Yeah.
Come on.
Sorry?
He's playing Alibi as well. He's
Okay, no, that's true. Let's be fair. Let's be fair for sure. I see. We're more shotgun. Like when will Legion get his super shorty back? Will he ever get it back?
There you go.
That's another thing.
Okay.
Oh, geez, nice. There you go. Ken's standing up. He's bowing a bit. Good job. Yeah. Nice. But yeah, like, will Legion... I think in general, like, let's make this more of a general question.
VP.
Like, operators getting weapons back or getting weapons removed, is this something that you're looking at in general at all times, or is,
It's mostly focusing on the secondary because it's where the utility usually ends up. And it's a great way to shake up a meta a little bit. Like, if you always bring Legion with a shotgun, it means that you're not bringing the other shotgun options. It means that you're always kind of running the same kind of roster. Want to make sure that the roster stays fresh.
Yeah.
Have a different option. So there should never be a case of never, but it's we're kind of using these at this time to make sure that you have a fresh experience. You're not always facing the same 5 operators up against you.
Perfect. All right. I see more coming in, guys, but that's going to wrap up our questions for today. However, what we would love to see in the chat right now, because we're going to check it out, guys, is any topics that you want to see on future community checkpoints. So if there's something we didn't cover here or something you really want us to talk about, please post that in the chat now. We're going to look at everything that you guys mentioned. So go ahead and do that. Try not to spam, though. Just, one time's good. We're going to see it. Don't worry. And get that in there. So that's it for that. And of course, for our stream as well. Thank you so much to all the devs here, Mathieu, Thomas, Mathieu, two Mathieu's, awesome. And of course, Ken behind the scenes, our production team that helps make this all happen, our moderation team, everyone working really hard to make sure these community checkpoints flow smoothly. But that is going to be it for us today. Make sure you tune in August 15th, Season 3 reveal at EWC, where you get all the information on a new operator, balancing changes, everything we mentioned before. There's going to be a lot of cool stuff. So again, Season 3 reveal August 15th. And for now, guys, we'll see you next time.